Alright, there is nothing else for us to do but go to the final battle. I mean, I suppose we could empty our inventory, but what's the fun in that, eh? So up until you report back that you've found a second village, you are allowed to leave Teoketzel however you wish, but once you talk to the town council, you're stuck. Lod's Rod will not teleport you out, and if you've already completed the underground temple scenario, you cannot escape that way because the Teoketzel bit's not connected. So we come down here and get our rewards for Sidrilt, which includes some magic arrows and a magical helm that increases strength. Alright, so Cermak gets the helm, Scylla gets the belt, and you two switch swords. Re-equip everything because sometimes the game is stupid about this. And we're actually going to give the Serpent Boots to Cermak. Everything looks good here. So we do one final rest. And we come down here. Now, as soon as we leave Teoketzel, we are going to be accosted by the Visionary, apparently. What's going on is that there's a sandstorm. And the sandstorm is blowing away the sand around these ruins that are off to the northeastern side of the funeral plain, which is the map where the battle takes place. What's in the ruins? What about the Drajian army? What must I do? So, under the cover of the sandstorm, we go to the ruins. Tell me your story. Sirlon, yada yada. We've heard about Sirlons before. Well, the city is destroyed. Yes, I'm leaving the conversation. If you will not listen, then you must side with that thing, Crag. Sirlons by themselves aren't that difficult. Alright. So we come up here, and as soon as we enter the town, we're accosted by a guard. I'm Garakus. Gorbnor? What's that? There's really no way to avoid killing this guy. So we get rid of the Shadow Guards. And he's paralyzed. Okay. And there's one more Shadow Guard. So coming up here, we meet the Shadow King. Greetings, I'm King Dwyer. We've heard that name before. Did you know Lod? Of course, Lod was my court wizard. Where is Lod? He's dead. Farewell, living ones. Now, if you walk on the dais... Don't step on the dais, only am I allowed. And he tells you to get off. You can kill him for the Obsidian Black Mace, which does Shocking Grasp every time it attacks. You don't have a heavy weapon, so we'll go ahead and give that to you. It's only +1, but it's still better than nothing. Why did I come down here too soon? Now, Cordnor is full of traps. I mean full. Yeah, getting my buttons wrong. So you want to have Find Traps active. Where are you here? I was sent to get the genie bottle. I'm not answering you. Goodbye. Yeah, there is no way to make the Sirloins nice to you. I have tried many a time. So with that guarding Sirloin out of the way, we can come up to the mausoleum. And introduce ourselves to Crag. Why have you come here? I'm looking for the genie. You seek the genie? Why? I want to use it to defeat an evil army. That is a noble purpose, and it should be yours. You must perform an act of goodness if it's going to be yours. The Sirloins have hidden my body. Find it and lay it to rest in the mausoleum. So if we look over here... Oh, hey, there's a body. Let's go look at that one. Thankfully, the pathing of this game isn't as bad as I give it credit for, but it's still pretty bad. Once a trap's been stepped on by Find Traps active, it is no longer active. So you can step on that trap all day long and it'll never bother you. So we come in here, and the game slows down because it rolled Zorns, okay. Once you enter this hallway, it rolls a random battle. And it looks like it's behaving today. Unfortunately, Find Traps only works for the caster if you're in party mode. All these Zorns. And I have the wrong character drawing their attacks. So we come up here, and that's not actually the body. Okay. Make sure nothing else. And we have a bunch of guards now. Well, now's a good time as any to put on blank. The problem with blank is that it prevents you from buffing yourselves once you've had a round of combat. And we're going to let this battle come to us, because if we wait until... If we don't fight this fight, this battle will actually slow down the rest of the map. Okay. Cermak, pop your shadow. Deliberately to take this fight slow, because why not? And Zorns! Seriously, what the hell? This hallway's buggy as hell. The little blue slat isn't going to slow things down. So we come over... I forgot you could do that. So we come over here, and these Sirlons are guarding the Land of the Dead. Now, the thing about Sirlons is that they count as a summoned enemy. So Dispel Evil will help. This is actually the first time you've gotten to see Dispel Evil in action. Dispel Evil is a level 5 druid spell in this setting. So if you have a cleric, it's not the best idea. So we come up here. Actually, Scylla. Haste us, please. Well, this one's awake at least. And Crag's actual body. And Cratchit gets another level, so Synaptic Static and Synaptic Static. And game is slowing down again. Just trying to avoid slow down, but looks like I have to deal with it. So now we're back here in front of the mausoleum. So now let's go deliver Crag his body. In so doing, we get the genie bottle. What can you do? I'd like to make a wish. I want you to help me defeat an evil army. Because we helped Craig, he gives us a free set of gloves with every army, and warns us that we have to kill the commander. We're not quite ready yet. We also want to be healed. Thank you. I am ready to face Strahj's army. Unfortunately, there is a very significant bug in some versions of the game. Sometimes the final battle just does not start. Which is why you keep a backup plan. Now, whether or not the battle will start depends on how the team plays through the game. We still don't understand what does this. Some people say that it's because of this scroll. You know, the one that we find toward the beginning of the game once we got out of the fields. I'm not entirely convinced that it is because of the scroll, but when I kept the scroll in the same position the entire game, it works. So, speaking of, this is actually the same party gone through a different way. So you'll notice a few changes, some duplicated items, some duplicated spells. But for the most part, we're ready to go. So call up the genie. I am ready to face Strahj's army. Stout fighter brains an opponent and makes his way to your side. The representative from Hedron, I believe. No, this one's Hedron. This one's Sidrilt. So then which one is Uskuye? Oh yeah, Uskuye is Sidrilt. So we have Daggerins, we have Psionicists, we have Templars, and we have regular guards. So, let's get our buffs in place. Good news is that we don't need to burn our level 5 spell. So Scylla, free action everybody. Drop a haste. Alright, Cermak. Fire Shield, Solid Fog. Spirit Armor, Blink. Fire Shield, Spirit Armor, Blink. And Cratchit, it's a psionic. Synaptic Static, please and thank you very much. Oh man, such slow. So the reason we use Solid Fog over the other delaying spells is because Solid Fog also blocks projectiles. Web also blocks projectiles, but Solid Fog blocks a lot of ground. So let them come to you, and turn this fog into the red mist of death. Nobody in the enemy army even knows how to cast free action. Oh, that's Cermak. No wonder he's not attacking. The biggest threat in the final battles is going to be Psionicists, which is why we do Synaptic Static as early as we can. Alright, Scylla. Come around the back way. Get rid of that Psionicist. Cermak, come down here. Get rid of them. You get the Templar. You can help out down here. Free action is such a wonderful spell. Just end your turn. They can't get out of the fog. And what's left? One guard, one Psionicist. And the Templar that I didn't see. Alright, with that done, the first round is over. Of course, you're not required to get the genie. In fact, you can leave Corridor as soon as you enter. Unfortunately, If you do, you kind of have to face this battle. But the same rule applies as the rule for the final battle. Crowd control everything. Of course, in this battle, you also get a benefit in that half of the force is summoned. So drop your Dispel Evils as well. Alright, Cratchhead is up first, so you work on elementals. Cermak, come after this particular. Completely missed him entirely, okay. Silly, you get this one. Soot does not count as a summoned creature, so you have to be careful around it. And this Rampager doesn't know what he's doing. That could have gone better. Okay, so there's just those two water elementals left up there. So you come down here and not so armor's corroded, armor's corroded. In the general case, you don't want to do this fight simply because it eats up so much resources, and you don't get to heal between rounds if you take this fight. Yeah, just out cold, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to be reloading the real game after this fight. And that Soud is still broken. That should be all of them. Alright, now, back to your regularly scheduled corridor. Give it a little bit of time. Hold off on calling the genie. You can't summon the genie during the final round of combat. So once the final round spawns, Kraxus comes over and congratulates you. Ha ha! You've done well to get this far, but now you die. Same rule as before. Get them into the fog, and they can't touch you. Gracchus, you come around and start getting rid of the casters. Gracchus has enough health to be able to endure this. Start punching this guy. That works. And yeah, they have black maestrals. Back in the fog. Back into the darkness! Alright, Cratch. Start clearing out these guys. We want to have our blinkers on the other side fighting the big boss, because... Gonna ask the big boss for a raise. Yeah, we're gonna ask the big boss for a raise. Alright, Cermak. Take the long way, if you please. And this is why Blink is such an important part of your defenses. And it's also why I make sure to have these guys immune to ranged attacks when possible. And that Defiler just ran into the thick of things. Alright. So you start punching guards. Well, that helped. The Obsidian Terrorblade is going to be your favorite weapon on subsequent playthroughs. Not necessarily on your first one, but on subsequent playthroughs, definitely. Come up here to this Maestral. Ooh, that was a close one. That gets rid of him. And Scylla gets first strike in this round, so that's good. Go Cratchit. Go Cratchit. Now, killing Craxus does not immediately end the battle. He drops a Great Axe, a bunch of arrows, and some metal armor. I forgot Scylla was wearing the magic arrows. You still have to defeat the elite squad. Good news is that now the entirety of the remainder of the elite squad is stuck in the fog. So we have Cratch eat up this guy's guard. These guys come to me. And let's finish the job, shall we?
You've got mail.
And with that, we have stopped Draj's army in its tracks. So we get this little cutscene of us recovering the Dragon's Bane. The Dragon's Bane is a +4 Obsidian Longsword. It doesn't get to see much use in this run, but, well, you can export your characters for the next game. So we skip over the credits. We get 20,000 XP for winning. The warriors say thank you. We've recovered the sword. And the genie says, "Congratulations, you've beaten Darksun." So yeah, we get the Dragon's Bane. We're going to give that to... It's a heavy weapon, so... Unfortunately, because we only use 2 Genie Wishes, we don't get our 3rd wish to duplicate the Dragon's Bane. But yeah, with that, Darksun Shattered Lance is complete. I will see y'all next time. And remember, winners don't lose frogs.